ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rossology, and welcome back to the Weekend Wrap-Up. For those of you who don't know what that is, which I think is everybody, the Weekend Wrap-Up is where I like to, at the end of the week, talk about what's been going on throughout my week. Now, I haven't made one of these for a while that I specifically called the Weekend Wrap-Up, and I don't really know why. My original plan was to do this potentially bi-weekly or whenever stuff happened, and I've made a few vlogs, but I think I really want to get back into it. So to start off, let's talk about jobs. I got a new job recently. I'm recording this today on Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. I started this job yesterday, and what I'm doing, without getting too technical and into it, I'm doing quality control for a concrete molding company. So basically, I get a blueprint. The laborers will also get the same blueprint. The laborers will start putting things in place, and I just measure it and make sure everything's right. More or less a fact checker, because if something does go wrong, that's a huge problem which will take days and a lot of money to fix. The only downside I feel to this job is that it does take 50 hours a week, which is really no big deal. It's just something for me to get used to and get my head around. I haven't had a legit full-time job, which I don't consider this to be a full-time job at all, no matter how much and how often I work on it. I haven't had a real full-time job in over a year, so this is just a difficult adjustment to wrap my head around. But it's more money than I've seen in a long time. I'll be making more money than I ever have before. And that means a lot of things. That means better equipment for us to use here. That means by the end of next month, the end of June, if all things go according to plan, I won't be living in this apartment anymore. I'll actually, fingers crossed, be renting a house with some friends. That means I'll be able to play games that I've never been able to play before for myself and for you guys, because I can afford them. So, it's going to be an adjustment. I have anxiety issues, and they started to flare up while I was at work today. And I'm not quitting, I'm not, doing anything, I just started. It's just something that I need to adjust to and kind of get my head around. Moving past that, some other things that I'm working on still are my board game. I realized I haven't really told you guys what the game is about or given you any feedback. I've just said, I'm working on a game. To give you a little bit of it without going too far into detail, it's a war game that has resource gathering elements. So think of a combination of Risk and Diplomacy and Settlers of Catan without the randomness. So it's war, you're trying to take over the whole board, but each turn you're potentially gathering resources to build stuff to help you take over the world. And it's not on Earth, it's on a distant planet. And that's all I really want to say about it. I don't want to tell you guys too much about it, and I also don't know everything about it yet. I really want to make the game a high focus because it is close to being done. I'm making it with Matt, who you've seen play Guns of Icarus with us. And we just need to do a couple more test games and figure out some of the more finite things. And then we'll be ready to move into more of the design aspects of, how the board looks, how the cover art looks, how the individual pieces will look. And I'm pretty excited for that. So that's just to kind of touch base as to where we're at there, if you guys wanted to know. Moving past that, I've also been writing a book, which, again, I've kind of brought up in passing, but I've never really fully explained it to you what it's about. And just like the game, I want to tell you guys about it a little bit without going too far into detail, because I don't know everything, and I don't really need or want you guys to know everything yet. But to give you the broadest overview possible, I've always wanted to be a writer since I was in about 3rd grade, and this book has taken multiple different forms, and originally it was going to be a book about just people that had superpowers in some way. And then it moved on to Greek mythology, because I love Greek mythology so much. I know more about it than I should. I really like it. I didn't want to write just another Greek mythology book. There's too many of those. They're not interesting. If you want to know about Greek mythology, read the myths. Read the Lightning Thief, read the Iliad. So I'm creating my whole new branch of mythology. So you've got, your Greek gods, your Norse gods, your Roman gods, Now there will be mine that I'm making. And I think it's going to be really cool. That's all I really want to say about that, to be honest. I just wanted to let you know, again, the very basic overview of it. And the last thing that I kind of want to talk about for this video is probably the most important for this, and that's YouTube. Because we're on YouTube. I wanted to start streaming either on Twitch or YouTube at some point, and my time management has gotten away from me a little bit, again, because of this job and adjusting and figuring out what I can work on and what I can do when. So at some point, I really do want to begin streaming, and I'll tentatively, let you guys know when that'll happen. But moving past that, I'm really happy with how things are going. I feel like the videos are pretty dang good. I feel like since I've been doing this for a pretty long time now, I'm getting really comfortable just recording, which is the most important thing. Editing is hugely important, but to be 100% honest, if I could put out a great video that's not edited at all and a great video that's hyper edited, I'd rather put out the one that I didn't edit at all, because it's the most real, it's the most me, and that's what I'm trying to do here. Editing is great, taking out dead spots, doing crazy zoom-ins on the face that are funny, cutting to zoom-ins on different games. It works, it makes things more funny and more enjoyable. But if I don't have to do that, that's awesome, and getting more comfortable and more natural here is really helping. Going along those same lines, with me not having quite as much time as I used to work on things, until I get into a groove, these videos coming up might not be as edited as usual. So if there is a small mistake left in, if I start saying a sentence and I speed up and get my words all jumbled up, as I know I do that a lot, I get caught up, I think faster than my mouth wants to move, and I'm on the next subject before I finish talking about the first. So I usually, in my videos, I'll stop, take a second, repeat my first sentence, and I cut out that beginning part. Now, if maybe I won't catch all of those and it'll be weird, you'll see me going, oh, and then we're gonna go, and then we're gonna go this way, and see something like that, where it's not as clean. You're gonna see me getting flustered and then taking that second and recouping my thoughts. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know if that's the exact way. The editing might not be there as much, but I don't have as much time to sit there and edit an hour video and take 3 hours to edit it anymore. I just don't at the moment. So please forgive me if there are editing faux pas coming up. I really don't want it to happen, but I feel like it will, and I apologize. Other than that, like I said, we're going to be getting some new equipment soon. The first thing I want to get is a camera that's not just a webcam, because I have a lot of things I want to record that aren't gaming, and it's very hard to do that when your best and pretty much only camera is connected by a 6-foot wire to your computer, and that's all you can do. Then after that, I want to get some new shit for my computer so I can run all the games I want to play, and so that I can have memory for everything. There are a lot of games that I can run, but I can't run them at a high enough quality that I want to record them. And then after that, I want to get a new microphone, which isn't a necessity, but this one's good. It's actually a pretty good microphone, but maybe we can do better. And that's kind of a back burner thing. And then after that is going to be getting games. Getting games that I want to play that you guys want to see and all that jazz. And I think it's going to be good. I think all this stuff is going to be rad. And now that I have this job, my whole different mindset about everything has changed. Obviously, it's a job, and no one wants to work there, and everyone wants to quit their job. Well, now, I'll quit when I'm successful at something else. When the book, when the game, when the YouTube, when the whatever. Once that works, then I can quit. That kind of thing. And I don't hate this job. I don't hate it. But it's not what I want to do, I think you do. Alright, guys. I'm going to wrap up this weekend wrap-up. Sure. I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. In the comments, let me know how your week's doing, whatever. You know what? I have a quote that I have sitting up here on my little desk area. So I'm going to end this video with a quote, like like a fancy, highbrow, sophisticated person. 1 second. Let's button this up first. Can I button this up or am I too fat? I could, but it'll hurt. My quote is, get your facts first, and then you can distort them as you please. By Mark Twain, and I really like having that up there whenever I'm thinking about my book or my game or anything. Even if it's something that you're creating from scratch, you still get the facts, and then you can adjust them later, which sounds weird because you're creating it yourself, but I feel like as a fellow creator, if any of you are creators, you'll understand what I mean. Alright guys, thank you all so much for deciding to spend a little bit of time with me today, and I'll see you next time.